Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Adelina and I make videos about living in my tiny house on wheels and living a more intentional life. Today I thought I would talk about tiny house bedrooms and tiny house sleeping arrangements and some of the options that you have. Some of them I considered and some of them I didn't even know existed when I was designing my tiny house. So I thought it might be an interesting topic if you're thinking about building your tiny house, to learn about the different options and the considerations for each one, sort of the pluses or minuses, because ultimately it's a personal decision. So if that interests you, stay tuned. If you have done any research on tiny houses on wheels, if you have watched any videos, then you are definitely familiar with the first style of bedroom that I'm going to talk about, and that is a loft above the living space. Now, this is the most common because it's easy to build, it doesn't take up floor space in your living area, and it's private. The negative aspects of it is that because it's in a loft area, there will be a ladder, though I've seen a lot of tiny houses lately that have modified stairs that go up to the loft. But really the big consideration is the fact that you can't stand up in your bedroom, and you are going to be crawling on your hands and knees from the loft or the stairs up onto your bed. Some of them, depending on the height of your house and how much headroom you want underneath that loft, can be so low that you can't even really sit up very well in bed. I'm going to tell you a funny story. When I was researching my tiny house, and my builder, I talked to a lady who was living in a tiny house built by Teacup Tiny Homes, that the builder that I used, with her husband. And when I talked to her, we got to talking about bedroom styles and trailer styles, and she said, if I can give you some advice, she said, she was in her 40s, and she said, you know, and I'm pretty mobile, but climbing up that ladder into the loft is kind of gets old after a while. And then she said, and also if you and your partner are having extracurricular activities, being in a loft can also be potentially a problem. So just take that into consideration. And if you or your partner are especially tall, then a loft might not be the best solution for you. The next one that you see quite a bit is a downstairs bedroom. That is becoming more and more common, and it's obviously more common because people don't want to deal with a ladder or even steep stairs to get into a bed at night. The downstairs bedrooms are also really popular for people who are empty nesters and they're downsizing, and they have perhaps some mobility issues, or if they don't now, they know that in a few years as they get older, they might not be able to navigate the ladder or those stairs. They're also very private because you have a door, usually a sliding door, so there's privacy between your bedroom space and the living public space. And obviously you can stand up in there, so that's nice because you can stand up to make your bed and get dressed and things like that. Obviously the negative is that it takes up floor space, and so that's living space that you've allocated to your bedroom that you now don't have for your kitchen, bathroom, living room, living space, public spaces. I've seen a number of tiny houses that have basically Murphy beds in them, and these are beds that fold up against the wall into a closet or a storage cupboard of some sort. Usually that storage cupboard also holds the bedding and other storage. You have your bed tucked away, and so it's not visible when people come over, and it frees up that floor space when you're not sleeping. And that makes sense because if you're not in bed, you don't need your bed out, especially if you have limited floor space. They do obviously take up some space against the wall. When you have your bed down, you're taking up living space, so you can't go to bed and have your partner stay up with, because you're in the living space in the Murphy bed. Also, if you have company and one of you wants to go to sleep, you can't really just put your bed down and go to sleep. But I do think that they're a good option, especially for a second bedroom or second bed for guests. I opened the window because it's really warm in here. We're having a beautiful day here in Calgary. So I hope you can't hear too much background noise. All right, so to go along with the Murphy bed idea, another thing that I've seen that I think is really cool are the slide out beds. Basically what you do is it pulls out like a drawer, and it's often built underneath a platform, so you'd raise up your floor in a portion of your house. Usually there's a living room on top of that sofa, sometimes a kitchen, and the bed is under there, and when you need it, when you want to go to sleep, you just pull it out like a drawer. It still has the same sort of drawbacks as the Murphy bed. Again, when your bed is out, you've taken up your living space, and so it's not a private space, and if one person wants to go to sleep, the other person can't really stay up. Again, I think it's a great idea as a guest bed if you have company. One of the things that I think is really cool are these elevator beds that I have seen lately. And basically, the one I saw a couple. I saw one where the person had bought basically a garage door kit or some sort of a garage lift kit. I don't know. But they had the technical and mechanical ability to make this thing work, and the bed would just go up on that. If you're not technical or mechanical, you can actually buy these now. And I think they're a great idea because they are up out of the way when you don't need them, so they're not taking up floor space. Your bed can stay made, which is nice, so you don't have to make it every night before you go to bed. And they're just such a cool idea. They still have the same drawbacks to the Murphy bed, and the slide out bed, the drawer bed, is, again, if you are wanting to go to sleep and you have another person in the house with you, either a partner or kids, as soon as you put that bed down, you have now taken up the living space, and so the other person really can't be up. The last one I want to talk about is the one that I'm sitting in right now, and it is a bedroom on the gooseneck of a gooseneck trailer. And so this part of the trailer, from just behind the camera to that wall, is the part that goes over the bed of the truck when it's being pulled. And because it's up and out of the way, it's a private space. I can stand up in it, but I'm only 5'4". If you're a little taller, you might not be able to stand up all the way, but you can stand up most of the way, and therefore you can walk around the bed to make it, which is something that I really appreciate. And it can be private. I don't have a door here, but I have seen many designs where the bedroom was on the gooseneck of the trailer and there was a sliding door here. One of my main considerations was to be able to stand up in my bedroom, to not have to crawl on my hands and knees to get into bed, to be able to walk around it to make it. Now I have 4 steps up into this bedroom. There's only 4, and this space is so functional. I can leave my bed made up, and I don't have to worry about having to do that right before bed. If I had another person living in this house with me, I could easily put a sliding door here so that that person could stay up working on their computer or watching TV, doing whatever, and I could go to bed. It was the option I was always going to choose, and I have to say I love it. It's worked really well for me. So here's the thing. When it comes to designing your tiny house in general and deciding what you want for your bedroom in particular, it really depends on your lifestyle, your age, your mobility, and I think especially the number of people that are living in your house. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you are somewhere where spring has sprung like it has here, at least for now, and I will see you next time. Let's just wait for the fire truck to go by.